Best way to settle an argument between my friends would be to punch one of them so hard that he knows never to argue with me again.
The best way to settle an argument is take a breather, think, and take a little time and put yourself in the other person's position.
The best way to settle an argument is to say you're sorry.
If you're in an actual argument and you want to calm it down, you just tell the person what you feel. They'll tell you what they feel, and just go on with life.
The best way to settle arguments between people, I found, is to show them that you care.
If one other person feels like he won and the other person feels like he lost, it's not going to settle the situation because there's going to be some animosity. To settle a quarrel or any type of situation, it has to be settled out to where both people feel like, look, nobody won and it's an equal, it's a win-win situation.
The best way to settle it, heated argument, would probably be to just forget about it.
In a heated argument, I don't know if there is a way to settle something when you're heated. I think you have to wait till you calm down.
Ultimately, if they don't agree with you, you say, let's agree to disagree.
Did you ever get into a conversation with someone and into an argument and into a hot argument, and after 10 minutes of quarreling, you come to the conclusion you were both saying the same thing? Did it ever happen to you? It happens quite often. People talk at cross purposes. They don't listen to each other, So the first thing in Judaism is that before you argue, or before you pass judgment, or before you make a decision as to who you're talking to, make sure that you listened well. Certainly before you argue.
Once I was fighting with my brother about his ideas on how to raise children, and we both realized we were arguing the same point.
I have been in an argument where the other person agreed with me, but we both expressed ourselves differently.
When you get in an argument, your mind kind of turns down because you're trying to think of what to say, not really listening. And in the end, you find out the other guy's really right.
Because I'm working on my character, maybe that's why I've realized that I'm arguing a lot lately, because I don't want to. And actually, I realized that I find out that when I listen through, I've been wrong a lot of the times too.
With my older brother and I, it seems like we're always arguing, but that's just the way we talk. Usually we're saying the same things to each other, but
In Judaism we say, if you got a quarrel with somebody, an argument, so ask the guy, look, is this what you're saying or not? Make sure, did you hear him correctly? Because when you report to him what you think he's saying, he says, no, don't be silly, I never said such a thing. And what I meant to say is, or what I want to say is, and he corrects it, and you can say, boy, we saved a lot of time. But when you get into a real argument, and the way to really settle it, is you say, look, I'll tell you what you said, and I'll tell you what I'm saying. I'll tell you where we differ. Would you please do the same for me? Tell me what I said, tell me what you said, and tell me where we differ. Let's see if we're on the same wavelength. That will that will bring any argument to a quick close. Because once you listen to each other and you're paying attention to what each other is saying, then you're going to solve things, or you're going to agree that, look, this is something we're not going to be able to solve. Like I say, the New York Times is the most reliable paper in the world, and you think the Wall Street Journal is we might not be able to solve that, but we know why we said it, because I saw this article which was full of baloney in the Wall Street, and we know where we're coming from, but we don't have enough information, so we'll decide mutually we don't have enough information. But the concept is, men of goodwill will reason together, will come to a common conclusion. So that's simple when we're arguing or just listening to each other, but it's much deeper than that. You know that at times people are teaching you something. Which would you rather be, happy or rich? I'll teach you how to be happy. You say, this guy can't. Well, he's just talking through his mouth. Never, never, never. But I'm telling you, never, well, hardly ever. Never dismiss what other people say. Always ask yourself, what is he saying? He's saying that happiness can be taught. Well, how do you know differently? You don't know differently. So you say, would you mind illustrating? And then you'll be able to tell. What is he saying? Happiness, which is, I'd rather be happy than rich, yeah. He's saying, I can teach it to you. Go ahead. You do this naturally. If a guy says, hey, you want me to turn your book into your pocketbook? I'll turn your pocketbook into solid gold. You don't say nonsense, leave me alone. You say, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, why not? Turns it into solid gold, you walk off with a gold pocketbook. He doesn't turn it into solid gold. You don't have to argue about it. You didn't do it, yeah? So whenever somebody says something, don't dismiss it. Listen carefully. Ask yourself, what is the involvement, what is the investment I have to make in order to clarify this? And then you go on to make your decisions. But there's an even more elementary and important concept, you see. People will argue about something, they don't even know what they're talking about. For instance, you say to someone, are you a good man? He says, of course I'm good. Of course I'm good. Now, ask him, are you a bafufstik? He says, what's that? You say, bafufstik. He says, what in the world is a bafufstik? I didn't ask you what it is. I'm asking you, are you or aren't you? Can't you make a simple answer? He says, I don't know what in the world you're talking about. How can I tell you? Oh, I see. You don't know? You can't tell me. So what's good? I like that word. Just paint me good. Bafufstik, I don't know whether you want to be painted bafufstik or not. Tell me what you're talking about.
A bafufstik? Is that Yiddish?
Is a what?
A what? A bafufstik?
I've never heard that word before.
Can you spell that, please?
Bafufstik? You got me on that. I don't know.
Because I was reading something the other day. I can't remember exactly what I was reading, and it said a bafufstik. And I asked someone what a bafufstik was, and I don't even think they answered me. I think they just laughed at me.
Like foot clears, like feet.
A bafufstik is two sticks that you swirl around and try and toss something up in between and catch it with the sticks, I think.
Something used for cleaning.
I think a bafufstik is a stick on a stick.
A bafufstik is maybe a person who runs away very quickly.
So a lot of times before you use a word or before you argue with someone, make a definition. Ask a definition. If he thinks he's a good man because I never hurt anybody in my life, say, it seems to me that you're a good you're a good piece of lumber. You never hurt anybody in his life either, yeah? Or you're a good rock. You know, what are you? Yeah, that's good. But don't argue when you don't even know what you're talking about or what he's talking about, yeah? So that is a more fundamental way of listening, of understanding, of communicating with other people and being on that wavelength.